The UFA in general is one of the biggest production company in Germany. The UFA serial drama is a sub-company of the UFA, and we are the leading company for German daily and shows. And especially, we are specialized for long-term and serial productions. So one of our most successful, most known production is Gute Zeiten, Schlechte Zeiten, Good Time, Bad Times. We have already, I think, around 8,000 episodes now, producing since 1992. So that's a long time. And saying some words about me, what am I doing? I'm supervising our in-house post-productions. So we at the UFA Serial Drama, we are doing everything in-house, means also color grading, editing, visual effects. We have departments for all that. I'm doing the post-production planning, like if we are getting new formats, doing the time schedules, working closely together with the supervisors of all post departments. And I have a big focus on workflow development and optimization, especially between set and between post-production. So that's also how I met Transfer Media, Peter Effenberg and Uwe and his team. So so when we met him, I think I met you 1.5 years ago when you showed me already your prototype, and it sounded like magic, and it is magic, I think, because it's really, really helpful. I will talk about this now. So let's talk about the case or the production, our latest production, where we used the FDX box. So it's called Leon, glaub nicht alles, was du siehst. It's a spin-off from Gute Zeiten, Schlechte Zeiten. And let's talk about the workflow, how we did it. And let's just give you some infos about our challenge we had. So also why decided we to use the FDX box. We had a pretty long shooting. It's 30 shooting days. 30 shooting days we had. The shooting was on Rügen. The post-production is here based in Babelsberg, just on the other side of the street. And we had 2 editors, one in Cologne and one in Berlin. So our camera setup was, we had 2 Alexa Mini LF, we had a drone, and we had also a GoPro for some shots. And we are recording in UHD with different color spaces like Log C, and for the drone we had also M-Log. And we had a external sound recording. That's what we always do at our productions. So we have an external sound device, getting all microphones, wireless, and recording on an SD card. We have a pretty tight post-production timeline, as that also means that our editors started already on, I think it was shooting day number 10. They had already to begin to cut, and they also wanted to do the cut at home. But as we are doing this pretty often now, especially based through COVID, this was not that big problem. There was another little problem because we have just one production driver that is driving once a week to the from the island Rügen to the post-production house here. But they wanted, the production wanted have dailies like they always want. Like they want video previews on the next day as early as possible. We use, it's I think also some very interesting thing to mention is we use Dropbox Business. So that's where we share everything, and especially when we are talking about big data we have to transport to somebody, we use Dropbox. So this was also the a very important thing, that this should work and that the daily delivery should be over Dropbox. Another thing was we had a really bad internet at the island, so it was even worse than we thought. But we knew already that it's not good. That's why we talked in forehand. We talked with the production manager and told him, okay, we need to find a solution for how do we get the footage and how that you can get your dailies and that we can also check that it's fine and working. So one decision or one idea was that we have the post-production assistant also on the island for the whole shooting duration. and having the equipment there so he can do the audio synchronization, everything there, exporting and uploading the dailies. But then we told him about the FTX box and that we were in contact with Peter and his team. So yeah, so our production manager, of course, he told us about the cost, what it's costing if we have somebody there all day and for the whole shooting duration. And me, I was really excited about this box. So we decided to use somebody from the staff who's already there for the 30 days. So it was the camera assistant. So we made him to the FTX box operator in his hotel after the shooting at the evening. So the first time we told him, he was a little bit, okay, why should I also do that? So of course I can imagine that, because normally data wrangling is taking a long time, or you need to be concentrated, and it's not just putting in the cards and then go away. It's more than that normally. So, but we went with the camera assistant. He was the FTX box operator in the hotel, and yeah, let me show you a picture of our setup. So what we did is we took a telecase and we put everything in it, because we wanted a mobile solution that he can just take it, put it somewhere, transport it somewhere. But what we also told him is, please let it in the hotel room, so we have a safe environment there for the first time we're using it. So let me just explain what you see there, because it looks like a mess a little bit. So here you see the FTX box. And we put in also an iPad. That's the control panel. That's how the camera assistant controlled everything. We also put in an LTE router just for case, and that was a good idea for case that the hotel Wi-Fi is really bad. So that really helped. Yeah, on the right picture, you see just the box from the top. So the green marked things are the card readers we just put on it. And now I want to tell you about my, a really, really nice feature is you see all these cables here. And what we use, or what my personal, what I really love on this box is you have the pin to port feature. And that means you pre-configure what should happen with the data you put on each port. Means I pre-configured when we put in cards in the ARRI card readers, then this workflow happens. And if we put something in the drone and GoPro slot, this happens. So, and this is the magic, because this helps you a lot. And so yeah, let's go a little bit more in detail what we pre-configured. So yeah, we connected all that card readers. We had 2 for the ARRIs. We had Codex compact drives. Then we had a card reader for the drone cards. We had a card reader for the GoPro. And we had also one slot, one card reader for the audio files, because the audio files are coming on SD cards, external. So yeah, what we also connected is, of course, a storage. So we choose the 16 terabyte hard drive. And connected is, so this is our main backup. So here's everything, and this hard drive stays in the hotel for the rest of the production. So let's pretend the camera assistant put in at the evening the SD card with the audio files. So that's what we told him, always do this at first, because it has one reason, I tell you later. So what's happening? The FTX box checks, okay, this is a port where the audio files should come in, and it copies everything on the main backup. And after that, it directly uploads everything into Dropbox. So let's pretend the camera assistant put in the cards for the cameras. We pre-configured that each camera should be transcoded to our chosen proxy format. It's H.264. You probably wonder, why do we choose H.264? That's not a typical proxy codec, but I'm going to talk about that later. And we also pre-configured which lookup table should be added to which drive. So we gave him one lookup table for both ARRI drives, and we gave them one lookup table for the drone. So yeah, he transcoded, the box transcoded everything, and straight after that, it was also uploaded to Dropbox. So, and on our side, at the post-production office, we had a automation that just looks into the Dropbox folders and downloads everything on our local post-production servers. So at this point, our post-production assistant was able to use the proxies to do his job, to synchronize the things with the audio, which has also been transferred. And yeah, he could start with the editing, preparing. And yeah, as we at the UFA, we love this proxy workflow. We are working with the proxy workflow with Premiere. We are just on Premiere. And so our cutters, they only see, you can say, the proxies, because they almost never look at the high-res. Just sometimes when they zoom in, they can switch and look at the high-res. So, but that means that we are already fine. So we synchronize the data up to our editing cloud, and our editors at home, they got the proxies and the Premiere project with the data, and they were able to edit already. So because of the box had the possibility to make many backups at the same time, we decided that we, of course, use this feature and use another hard drive. So we choose a 5 terabyte hard drive. We call it transfer backup, because you remember, once a week we had the production driver coming, taking the transfer backup and driving to Potsdam here to give the original data. So the original data means all transcoding, and of course also the original data. We get all of that. So yeah. But wait, didn't we talk about dailies, about previews we needed? So have a look at this. So we decided to have H.264 proxies with LUT. So, and this is already on Dropbox. So why should we use this for the dailies and just share the folder where all this is getting into? So this is exactly what we did. There's just one little problem, because I told you that we have audio files on an external card. So there's no sound normally there's no sound on the camera clips. So that's how when I talked to Peter, and Peter gave me the tip that why shouldn't you do it like this? So here you see a typical scene at the set. To the two ARRI cameras to the left, you see the boom operator there, and you see the sound set supervisor at the right. So normally it's a cable here, but yeah, I think it's not a cable anymore. It's most of the time it's wireless. But so he is recording everything on the SD card. And so what we did is we put wireless audio transmitter to the cameras, to the both main cameras, because the drone, we normally don't need any sound of it. And we transmit the sound from the sound device to the cameras. So that's how the clips, the original clips, have also audio. It's just a mix down, or not a mix down, it's just a mixed channel from all microphones. But for the dailies, it's perfect. So yeah, but we're talking all the time about backupping and transforming and so on. But what is it in numbers? How long does it take? So we had around 1 terabyte data every shooting day. So that was quite a lot. The copy process to our hard drives we chose, it was just a pretty normal drive, no SSD. It took 3 hours to copy. And the proxy transcoding in the proxy format we chose it took 9 hours. The upload to Dropbox, there it is. It's completely difficult to say, because we have had a really bad internet connection. So we had 700 kilobytes per second if it was good. So, but the more important thing is we have only 12 gigabytes of proxies every day, plus the 4 gigabyte audio files. And the good thing is, when the proxy transcoding is running, then the box already uploads the 4 gigabyte audio files, because this is already there. So the time, we save time. And all in all, on the island with this bad internet, it was all done after 15 hours. All done means the assist, the post-production assist had the files on the local video server. And means when the camera assistant started the backup at 7 o'clock in the evening, that was around, sometimes it was later, but then we had at 10 o'clock in the morning on the next day, we had all footage, means also we had already the dailies on Dropbox. So this was really amazing because normally it takes much longer because normally our post-production assistant starts at the next day at the morning and then she controls that everything is there, then make a QC, then she renames it and then she exports it. And so this is really, really amazing and it helped us a lot. So let's talk shortly about the proxies, FTXbox proxies, why they are so helpful for us and also why we choose the H.264. First of all, as I told already, it fits perfectly into our Premiere and cloud editing workflow because for the cloud editing workflow, we are really also using H.264 and H.265 files. I think there was a time when H.264 was not that performant for doing in the editing, but this already changed as the CPUs got quicker and faster. So the reason why we choose H.264 is also because of the very low file size, of course, and the bad internet connection we had, and it really looked good. It looked really good. The editor, they didn't see any different to the proxy format we usually use, like Proxy, Proxy. And it also has a great performance to edit. And the good thing is also with the FTX proxies, they keep the original metadata. Means if you have a metadata tool and you look into it, you see metadata the ARRI Alexa is putting into the original clips. So also very nice thing. And yes, of course, it saves lots of resources and time in the post-production because normally we have to do all the proxy transcoding in the post-production. And now we use the night for doing exactly this. So that's why we are so happy with the FTX proxies. Let's just have a little summary of what I think was the best things at the FTXbox. First of all, it was very, very, very easy and very safe because the camera assistant didn't do more than putting in the cards, starting the process, going to bed, stand up at the next morning, and it was all done. So the other good thing, of course, is that you can do several backups at the same time. So that was how we were able to give just one hard drive to the driver, and we still have the other backup. Then also very, very good, especially for the post-production coordinator, was the generated reports we're getting per mail. Because it's not just a report, it also shows all clip names, it shows the resolution, it shows the frame rate. And that's also just a little fact beside that we saw one day that they recorded in a wrong resolution. It wasn't bad, but it was more than higher resolution than we needed. But we saw that directly on the PDF. So this is a really, really good feature. The other feature I already mentioned is the pin to port feature, which is just really good because somebody who's not that concentrated, he can make it wrong. He can put in the ARRI card in the SD card reader, but I don't think that this works. And of course, also the real-time status monitoring that Uwe already showed on this mobile phone. It was really, really helpful for the post-production assist because she also worked from home sometimes, and she told me once that she was awake and thought she was waking up too late, and then she had a look on her mobile phone and saw, okay, the internet is bad like always, so I can sleep 2 more hours. So it was it was really good with this web interface. Of course, one big good thing is the automated generation of the proxies that we can also use as dailies. So this is also a very good feature. And especially also talking with the production manager, it reduced the costs because the other, we had a production some years ago. It was also on an island. And there we choose the way to have the post-production assist on the island. And it reduced costs and saved the time. And we're already looking forward to do the next project with the FDX box next year. We want to try also, because we heard that this country has much better internet, we also want to try to upload the original footage to Dropbox. And if this works, we don't even need anymore any transfer driver or something like that. Yeah. So thank you for having this box and to use it on the next shoot.
Yes. Thanks for this great demonstration, insight. Ein weiter? Yeah. Any questions? We're both happy to answer. Yes, there's one.
Are you planning any improvements from your device? So
updates
for the future for FDX.
Yeah, when the FDX is online, the updates are getting pushed automatically every time it's booting. Like after it's booting, then the update comes in.
Do you have any idea that you can announce any idea about your improvements that you have in mind?
Okay. Improvements that we have in mind. Yeah, sure. I mean, basically, this is the first workflow that is kind of certified. I mean, by this company, also by us. It was flawless for the really 99%. In the very beginning, we had like some glitches, but after that, so this is like the first workflow, and of course we're trying to set up more workflows like this that we can present to you as being tested, you know, in like 20-30 days of shooting. And that next would be also looking at Avid, creating proxies for Avid. This is quite tricky because even the DITs that work with Avid, they are struggling to create really good proxies by hand, like flawless proxies for 100% of the files. So I'm not sure if this is ever going to be, you know, happening, but we have DaVinci, we have other post-production tools, we have other codecs that we are not encoding into yet. We have also codecs like ARRI RAW, which we don't encode, we are copying it, but it's not, we're not creating proxies from that yet. Also, there's ARRI WebGate, which we want to use as like a storage. So as you can see, there's like lots of little things that will be integrated one by one. Like as we have time for that stuff, we'll do it. I mean, right now, even that came first. Since we have a company, you know, they have a big shoot. They want this to be perfect, so we're focusing on this, and we're learning from that a lot. And then if people approach us and say we have ARRI RAW, or I mean, we can encode RAD, for example, RAD RAW. But we never had someone saying we have a shoot on Sony RAW. Then we would look into that, of course, specifically just for that shoot.
Yeah, I had a question about Sony, but you just answered. Then I got another question about the Dropbox. Could it be something else? Could it be linked with an API, for example, or something? To another solution?
Destination, other upload destination. Yeah, we have a couple. I mean, Frame.io, our own cloud, FTP, SFTP, Vimeo. Yeah, exactly. So we have those. Okay. And basically, to integrate another destination it's straightforward. To look, I mean, we can look at any of those, you know, and spend, let's say, 1 or 2 weeks max to integrate that too.
Can just,
how many USB ports do you have on that?
This one has 9.
Okay.
Some of them are Thunderbolt. This is the box that this model ran out from Intel, so we will be having already a new Intel computer that has 2 slots less. So it'll be 7 on those. Well, it's not for VR production, but they are selling this this computer to be strong enough to do VR PC applications. I mean, it comes as a bare bone. So, I mean, there's no RAM usually in it and no hard drive, so that's what we put in. So you can also still choose if you buy the bare bone, how big you want this to be and how fast, right? Yes, please.
Can that thing or the software itself, is that somehow, can that be open source and put on a Raspberry Pi maybe? Is that possible? Because as I understand it, it's you have the technical thing, the hardware, and then you have the software, right?
That's right. Basically, it's yes and no. I mean, it's right, but I mean, of course, we're focusing on the ports, on the possibilities, technical possibilities, and the platform this thing has. So I mean, our CTO is here too, but I think Raspberry Pi, I'd say no.
Transcoding on a Raspberry Pi will probably not make you very happy. Also, I'm not sure about the architecture, but the USB ports might also not be fast enough.
Yeah. Also, I mean, we created this graphical interface that really refers specifically to the ports of this thing, right? So, I mean, the graphical interface will be totally wrong for any Raspberry Pi.
I had a similar question. If you would plan to license the software only for use to like a normal Mac Pro or another kind of computer. You already answered about the port, pin-to-port function.
Yeah.
But is it
So this plan is not being planned yet. The thing is, like, we had like really very long discussions. I would say even weeks about what hardware we will use, right? And the first idea many years ago was to build the hardware ourselves even. But I mean, you have hardware warranty for that. That's the first thing. That's why we're not building any hardware, just taking it as it is. The second thing is many other computers, they don't have enough ports, right? And any laptop does not have enough ports, and then you would deal with a dongle or like an USB connector, and then things start being difficult because it must be that thing. And what if this thing is being updated by the manufacturer, right? And the laptop is updated in another way, so we are dealing with two things. So as you can see, very difficult discussion. Why is this not happening on a Mac? Or maybe you have also other reasons. We're not using Mac OS also. I mean, the Mac OS is more difficult for us than what the Intel has. So it goes on and on and on and on. I mean, but basically it's possible, but we decided to use that. Also, this is like kind of, it has a reasonable price, right? For the strength it has. Yes, I mean, basically, I didn't show much about the hardware. Yeah, it has more advantages than you saw here in this presentation, right? The advantage is it's small. It has a lot of very well reachable ports, right? So it's square, you know. It's not loud. The heater, you know, the fan is not loud, and like it's a long list why we chose it. And I didn't show you the exact, you know, reason now, but there are many reasons why we chose this. And we looked really at the market for a very long time. And of course, that's what you're used to on set. You have a laptop. And we were also thinking about why not having like a Microsoft Surface. You have a touchscreen on that laptop. And it's pro and cons, and we are just sticking to this one because it's very flexible to use, and it's smaller than it's just a square box, and you can use it with your mobile phone, and like it's very flexible also.
A question about the software. When someone was leaving a note about video being too dark, is it part of the solution?
Yeah.
So how does it work? Are they looking? Is that hardware provide the video or somehow, or so how they reviewing all those videos?
So the user interface you saw, it's the same when you connect directly to the box to control the box, and it looks quite the same when you log into the cloud of this box, right? So that's the thing. It's like it looks like the same. And then if you create proxies or like transcodes with a box that are H.264, anything a browser can read, internet browser, we can show it in our web viewer. So that's also what they did. They didn't use our cloud though, they used Dropbox. But these proxies we can show in our web viewer and you can use to editing. Yeah, and this is the integrated system basically, right? So the physical, yeah?
But I have to wait until they upload it to Dropbox or whatever cloud. So I cannot watch them directly from the box.
Yeah, there is a simple preview possibility here locally. You can watch them from the drive as well, but it's not this web interface with a collaboration aspect. It's just really a viewer to watch the transcode instantly. That's possible, of course, yeah.
For the local view only.
For the local, yes, for the local files. Yeah, but it's not this fancy interface. It's really just a simple player.
Okay, so the collaboration will only be able, will only be available once that uploaded to Dropbox.
Yes, for the collaborative interface, yes. Yeah, it needs the upload. But I mean the collaboration and Node, okay, I get your point, yeah, but it's not possible on the local drive.
So maybe that's something you can look at.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah. I mean, what you're driving at is you're at the shoot, you transcode it, and you want to take notes on the transcodes already while you're there, yeah.
Because the video is already there, so somehow I can reach the box from
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, nothing stops me from making a note and the video, even before it's uploaded.
Yeah, we will put this in our Jira and feature wish for the near future. Yeah, anything else? Yes, please. Yes.
Is the pin to port feature mandatory, or can I customize it?
It's not mandatory. No, that was.
Start processing by hand or manually.
Yes, you always have to start the process manually. Okay. I did a mistake here when I showed you. I mean, usually it pops up, the source device pops up, and then you drag it into this process section, let's say, and then you add the metadata, and then you start the process. So you can control it very precisely when the process is being started. You can also undo it, disconnect the device, forget the device. That's what I did. So the device seems new to the box. The thing is, the box remembers devices that have been copied already. The box also remembers target devices that have been used. So that's why the box was giving me this this image when I showed it to you.
Can I interrupt the process, especially the upload, when I'm using the box on set and I have to move to another set?
Yeah.
So can I
Yeah.
stop and start the upload later?
That's exactly what I tested, because that was always I was always afraid. That was also why the first nights we used it on the island, why I had a clock and always in the night to look, because when you're having the first shooting day, they want to see the dailies directly. So that's what I still tested here in my little room office here month ago to remove the power also while it was copying and uploading and so on. So this was really stable, and this was very important because it happens. Yeah.
Yes, please.
You say you have to start manually the process, but can you queue workflows and start, like if you say you have several cards or several things and you go to sleep and you put them all and then you just let them all go?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it's possible. That's the answer. I mean, that's the idea also. I mean, the thing is, like, if you have a pin-to-port workflow and you're using this for camera 1, you don't want to have another card of camera 1 starting in another port all of a sudden, right? It needs to stick. I mean, that makes it structured, right? If you don't use the pin-to-port, you can have 3 card readers, like, add them wherever you want, and then in the metadata you add just this is camera 1. You have to do it by hand then, and then if you start them already and then you go to sleep, they will all process while you're sleeping.
No, because if you have more than one card for each camera, you would have to cascade.
Yeah. Or I mean, you can have 2 card readers for each camera, or 3 for each camera. I mean, this is just limited physically by the ports.
And the good thing is also, as we had 2 ARRI card readers there, the good thing is also, I didn't mention, is so, for example, you put in the ARRI cards and they're getting copied, and then there's also the message already, you can remove it. So you can directly remove it afterwards. The upload process is
Yeah.
working from the main backup. And even that's also what we tested here is if you use SSD drives, they're really quick. It was around 400, 500 MB per second. So erklärt with that would have been much quicker. That's also something we learned. So the next time we will get a much quicker main backup. I know it's expensive, but that's something we need because it also speeds up the whole process. So.
Yeah, just to recap, the uploads and transcodes are being done from the target device, right? So that's what he basically says. So only the copying process, you have to wait only for the copy to have finished. Then you can remove it and put in the next card already. Bitte, bitte.
If you're talking metadata, what kind of metadata can I add despite of LUTs and CDLs, for example? Can I put some metadata describing the tips onto it, like slate numbers, or can I use the information from the sound guide?
That no. I mean, you can use it. You can type it in, but it's not taken from, let's say, the sound file name, right? That would be nice because the sound guys are very precise there. And then if we sync the sound with a picture and use that name, that would be super helpful. I know.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about too. It's tricky though. But we have a lot of, I mean, you have an unlimited number of metadata fields that you can provide, right? And there's fields like free text and pre-named fields like director and DOP and that kind of stuff. Also date.
Yeah, copy. Yeah.
Can